Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Lost Everything and travel to the DC universe. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode over on the other channels. Yes guys, I indeed have 4 of them if you're new. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Prince, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day, guys. All the links will be in the description, so go ahead, check them out, and enjoy. So, without further ado, wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this new episode begin? Now, guys. So the last part we left off, Supergirl had a terrible memory of. Well, it was sort of a dream, but it felt so real. Her ripping someone to pieces, as she killed a few people, and also killed a lab tech as well. She was deeply shaken by this. She was frightened to her core, as she wanted to find out where these memories were coming from, and what was happening to her. As Ma and Pa came in because her power had activated by itself and burned a hole through the ceiling. As Jonathan went to go and call Clark to make sure he was here. Clark was not home, but he left a message. She asked if she could go for a fly, as Ma agreed, because she knew exactly where she wanted to go, as she went over Naruto's place. Seeing that it was late and dark, Naruto appeared and placed a kunai at her throat, but when he realized it was her, he calmed down. As for Superman, it took him a while as he came back. Once he came back, he read his messages. He quickly placed on back his suit as he flew out as quickly as possible. Arriving towards the home, arriving there, when he heard where she was and that her powers were fluctuating, he wanted to go over there right now, but Ma ended up slapping him. She told him that despite him saving the world many times, he's never been into a war. Pa has been into a war. However, he judged Naruto for the past, but yet he's not guiding him towards a new future. As he kind of felt bad now when Pa told him about war, and they had to do what they had to do. They had to kill. And now he kind of understands the situation a bit better, but still. He went by as he saw Naruto on the porch. He told him that he was gonna fly over here the moment he heard that she was here, as Naruto knew that he did not trust him, but, well, that was up to him. Kara then came out a moment later with the orange book. When she saw her cousin, her face turned beet red as she rushed back inside as quickly as possible. Superman decided not to ask what was that book. She came back with the book, as this time it was hidden, as she brought it over to her place. With that, they made their way to the watchtower as John did a mental link on her. Naruto had an idea though of what is going on. The only time that she was missing memories was when she was brought to Star Labs when she was fatally wounded, and they had to use a kryptonite machine to, well, help her. Arriving there, the doctor there told them what everything happened. However, Naruto saw something that caused him to be suspicious, as he had a feeling about what it was. They end up fighting some guys in some machine and some suits outside. However, Naruto told John to send him to the Batcave, as the others went to go and check out something else. Naruto arrived there as Batman asked him what he wanted. Naruto knew that feeling that she had. It was when he dispelled a clone, the memories came back. As Batman searched the machine, he knew what Naruto was gonna do, but, well, Naruto said that he wouldn't be able to stop him, he would do what he want. This thing that they created has been using her identity and going off of her memories, sending back to her and gathering memories from her and killing people out there. and he was gonna put it down no matter what they say. Batman made contact with the rest of the members that were aware of this, as he told him that no one else supposed to know about this. Question, Supergirl, and Ollie. This was not supposed to leave this room. Ollie thought that Batman was crazy for sending Naruto to kill something that looked exactly like Kara. However, Kara said that he would do it. She knew him and he would do it. This thing has been going around using her face and hurting people, and Naruto will do it. Arriving there, the guards were unconscious on the ground as they tried to stop him. Naruto ripped the door off the hinges as he came inside. He saw her. She looked just like her, however, here was shorter. She was a complete maniac though, as she attacked Naruto. However, he was able to dodge. But still, he got roughed up a bit as she was able to use her heat vision to burn right into his side. But Naruto was not one to drop so easily as they clash. A vicious battle then ensued. As Naruto uses Rasengan Shuriken, he grinded her up to pieces. He then proceeded to let the entire place explode when he set up explosives as he stepped out. Coming back to the watchtower, everyone was shocked as Naruto was covered in blood. The Fox was already healing him, but they rushed him to the medical bay and had him do a checkup. Supergirl was worried, but the doctor told her that he'll be fine. It's accelerating healing started. Get into work. So yeah guys, basically let's split off. You guys can switch across the PlayStation for yourself, and what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Let's begin now guys. He will be fine, Supergirl. His healing factor that was recorded by John is already taking effect, and he should be as good as new by tomorrow. Though, had he been anyone else, I doubt that. Half his ribs are broken. His left shoulder is destroyed, both bones and muscle. His right arm and left leg had deep cuts in them. His kidney is bruised beyond belief. And on top of all of that, he has multiple skull fractures. Kara nodded as she stood by his side. Naruto reached out and took her hand as he gave that squeeze. Sorry I worried you, Kara-chan, he said. She smiled through the tears that was once more leaking down her face. The doctors, after getting him stripped down to his boxers, bandaged and hooked up to a few monitors, IV him and then left. There was nothing else they could do for him. The three had questioned, but it was then that Green Arrow saw that there was a moment that's about to be happening. So he grabbed Questen by the back of the shirt and dragged him out of the room. You can ask questions later, he said, as he hit the privacy screen and shut them off from the rest of the outside. I'm sorry you had to do that, Kara said softly. Naruto gave her a look before he glanced up toward the ceiling. I'm surprised that you don't hate me, he said, as he did not look at her. I did just technically kill you, he said. Kara felt like she wanted to smack him. How could he say that? No, Naruto, you didn't kill me, she said. I'm alive, I'm right here. You killed something that has 6 scientists and a coward government created. I'm fine, you idiot. As he turned his face to meet hers. At least, I know if I ever go rogue, someone can stop me, she said. What if I go rogue, Naruto asked. His tone was serious. Unlike the rest of us, you have already crossed the line. However, you have returned, she said. That tells me out of all of us, you'll be the least likely to go rogue. Especially after what happened with your friend Sasuke. Naruto chuckled lightly. Sasuke, he said. Yeah, him. You won't. Go down that path, she said. Taking the chair next to his bed, she never released his hand. As the place was quiet, only thing that could be heard was the beepings of the machines. Meanwhile, 2 figures looked over the destroyed interior of the office. One of them with sadness, the other with anger. We need to know who was able to best a Kryptonian in battle. The angry one said. I think I know, a male voice said as he leaned down towards the blood and bits, all that remain of Galatea. I will inform everyone at the next meeting. Be sure that you do, the female said, back to the kneeling man. As he got up, the moonlight lit up his face to show that it was Professor Hamatel, as there was unshed tears in his eyes. As he looked down towards the remains. Galatea, he said. The female figure behind him pulled the phone. I need this facility scrubbed. All trace of Cadmus must be removed within the hour, she said to him. Time skip. What is your report, Professor Hamilton? Spoke a black woman with a blue business suit as they sat at a conference table. Miss Waller, he said, looking towards her. 3 days ago, one of Cadmus' facilities was breached, Nuvogen, which created a clone of Supergirl for us. To be specific, he grabbed the remote and turned to the screen as it was a security footage of Star Labs. This man here, he said, pointing towards Naruto and the scream. He was the one responsible for the breach. What we were able to find out is limited at best. One of the others at the table spoke up. How do we know that it was him? All the security footage was destroyed prior to the fight. For all we know, it could have been Supergirl herself. General Eiling, Hamilton said, facing the man. Supergirl has an alibi. She was seen by a spy on the watchtower while the fight was taking place. Our spy confirmed that this man returned, looking quite worse for wear. He pressed another button as it flashed a Justice League file on Naruto. Our spy was able to procure information on who it is. As for all League files, his name is stored away in a hash file, so it's unretrievable. But his hero name is Shinobi. His abilities: wind manipulation, rapid healing, super strength and speed, augmented by bioelectrical energy that he can control. Bioelectrical energy field? Waller asked the raised eyebrow, nodding as the professor continued. According to the files he was able to retrieve for us, this field allows him to control similar readings to what we get from Tala. As he gestured up to the purple woman that was wearing a very revealing dress, purple one, for the meeting. So this man is a sorcerer. That would explain how he was able to beat a Kryptonian, Tala said. No, he's not a sorcerer, the professor said. As I said, it is similar, he said. We believe that this similarity allows his energy to harm Kryptonians. Further investigation must be done. Also, his experience was saved by a leak. Hash file, also untraceable. This is not normal practice for standard League files. Thank you, Professor Hamilton, Waller said, standing up as he sat down. What we must figure out now, who this man is, what his intentions are, and if the League has finally turned. She walked as she took the remote and pressed it, switching the screen. All 4 projects have failed miserably in the past, as different weapons created by Cadmus start to flash on the screen, all failing to best the League. They all knew that the League had the potential to take them out and subject the world. So far, the League has claimed to be working in the best interest of this world. However, with the attack against one of ours, probably one of the best chances we have against Superman. I have spoken with the President at great lengths in the past 2 days on actions that he wished to take. As she spoke to the other 4 in the room, we will enlist the only successful Cadmus project. As she pressed the button, everything switched to one man on the screen. A man in a bronze mask with a single hole on one side. Hello again, Miss Waller. General Eiling. It has been far too long, he said. From behind his mask, his tone was cold. Deathstroke, Waller said. I believe that you had ample opportunity to look over the information that Hamilton has sent you. The mercenary named Deathstroke chuckled at her question. My, you insult me, Waller. His condescending tone rang in the ears of the assembled members of the head of Cadmus. Yes, I was able to look over your pathetic excuse of a dossier. And, Waller said, if he wasn't the best we have, I would have a platoon of special forces looking over for him, around the clock. Arrogant prick, she thought. I find your lack of imagination when dealing with these metahumans who parade around in spandex lacking. You fear people with obvious weaknesses that make them almost laughable, easy to kill. He said, mocking all the gathered people. Then why haven't you killed any of them, Waller asked, with a raised eyebrow and a smirk. Also, why do you keep on bothering Batman, old sidekick for that matter? Deathstroke eye narrowed dangerously. I choose not to kill them because they've never hindered my mission. Never once have they hindered my goals. As far as Nightwing goes, well, that is my personal agenda. Well, actually, they tend to help more than they hurt. Like, currently, he moved the feet to show a man dangling from his neck. Its feet was barely balanced on a chair. He kicked the chair as the man started to hang. Like this job, for instance, it would have gone to Deadshot. He's far less expensive than I am. However, due to his new home in prison, because of that bank robbery a while back, well, you get the picture. As he turned the feed back to himself, part of me is because of you. And for that, I'll give you a discount. General Eiling was outraged by his audacity. He banged his hand down. How dare you, he said. You should be doing this for free. We made you. You are our soldier. Never forget that, Slade Wilson. Glaring at the general with his one eye, As I said, General, part of me. I did all the rest. As he turned back to Waller, 200,000 I would deliver is head to you. That is not what we want, Waller said. 25,000. We want information. Who he is, what he's truly capable of, and any weakness he might possess. Slade chuckled under his mask. Very well, Miss Waller. You shall have your information in time, with that defeat cut. Meanwhile, on the other side, welcome back, Master Wilson. English voice spoke up to Slade as he entered a rather large mansion. Early from your stay in Jump City. May I inquire why? Slade chuckled at his butler and longtime friend Wintergreen. I have someone new that has piqued my interest. Someone Cadmus want me to look into. However, he could prove more fruitful than Nightwing. As Wintergreen nodded, who might this person be? As Slade handed over the dossier. I do believe I find this as lacking as you did, sir, Wintergreen said. After reading the personal file that really did not give away anything really. The only thing they knew was a alias, and that was Shinobi, and knew a rough estimate on what he could do, but other than that, nothing at all. It took hours, and what they were able to find is laughable. However, Master Wilson, I have noticed something. Unlike other members of the Justice League, this Shinobi doesn't have a city that he protects. Off his rotation, and also all the missions he's been on, he's never once been alone, always with a senior member. Slade said, rubbing his chin. This is definitely more interesting than what Cadmus believe. Wintergreen, do you believe the Justice League has created a weapon, or are they trying to curb someone's natural nature? I am not sure that I understand the question, sir, Wintergreen said. As Slade nodded, the League has been run 100% by Superman. There has been incidents where Batman overruled him and other League members, but Superman is in charge. A man that won't kill, who believes in second chances. A Boy Scout, if I've ever seen one. So why would they suddenly unleash a weapon? Wintergreen finally got what his master meant. They found someone like you. They're merely trying to turn his nature then. Slade nodded as he moved towards the terminal as he hit a few buttons. As he brought up the remains of Galatea, before the place was scrubbed. Now the final piece of the puzzle. Why did he kill the clone? He's been with the Justice League for over a month. He's been on 5 missions from what your sources can tell us. But never once has he killed. He's maintained the League's stance on detaining criminals. Then, when not on rotation, he shows up in Star Labs. Then at Nouveau Gen. And then he kills a clone. Quite brutally and viciously, if the remains are anything to go by. But why? Said Slade. More surveillance then, sir, Wintergreen said. Yes, old friend. We'll find out everything that we can about him. I want you to update the dossier for Cadmus with basic information to just keep them in the loop. This man is now my target, said Slade, as he walked through the door. Time skip. Naruto was having a decent day. He stopped at Jewelry Heights with Diana. As she left the watchtower, a rotation was over, and now he was sitting down with the greatest lunch. Finally, ramen, ramen. Today is gonna be a great day, he kept on saying in his head. As Kurama sighed, he was hoping that the League would not buy the noodles for the blonde. But after constant begging to the Martian, he finally relented. Please shut up about ramen, Kurama said, annoyed. Screw you, said Naruto. I had to go like a month without ramen. First because of that stupid toy guy or whatever. And then my rotation started a week later. Kurama sighed as he resigned his fate to listen to the constant chanting of ramen, ramen. Why couldn't he have picked up another quirk? Being late all the time is not that bad, is it? But no, he had to get ramen. As Naruto devours ramen like he hadn't eaten in months. 30 bowls, 24 shock, cafeteria workers, and 50 surprise hero later, Naruto was finished. Dude, said Flash, as he pointed the empty bowls on Naruto's table. Where do you put all of that? I mean, I thought I ate a lot because of my metabolism, but damn. As Naruto turned towards him, I like ramen. As everyone's sweat dropped, you can say that again. Naruto turned to see Kara as she was reading one of the Ichi series book that she took from his house. Kara-chan, said Naruto, you're not supposed to read those out in the public. She looked up from her book and gave him a look. Didn't you say that your sensei used to read these in public all the time? Naruto started to regret mentioning that. It was the morning after his fight with Galtia, as Naruto was making his way to his room when he remembered something. Turning towards the opposite room, Naruto knocked. As the door opened as he saw her reading that book. Man, Kara-chan, said Naruto, if you keep this up, you're gonna be as bad as Kakashi-sensei. A blush rose on her face as she looked up. She then threw her arms around him. You're out. I'm so glad you're okay, she said. As Naruto laughed and returned the hug lightly. You bet, Kara-chan, he said. But seriously, he said after they broke apart. Soon you're gonna be reading that in public, just like my old sensei did. She shrugged. Is that a problem, she said. Because I know a few of the women up here would love to get a copy of this. As Naruto was about to retort to her reading it in public until she said that. Come again, said Naruto. There are quite a few heroines up here on the watchtower who would love a complete set of your books, Kara said with a devious smirk. As Naruto raised a careful eyebrow. And how, pray tell, do they know about them, said Naruto. As she blushed and looked away. Well, I sent the first one to Barb last night, who might have made a few copies and sent it back to the watchtower. And one thing led to another, and now they all want the full set of your books. As Naruto looked at her, until he collapsed, as he was laughing his ass off. She could not understand what he was saying because he was talking in Japanese. All she could make out was erosenin. She did not know what that meant. Back to the present time. Yes, I did say that. But that wasn't permission to read it. Out and about, said Naruto. She gave him a look before she placed it on the empty spot on the table. So, what are you up to today, said Naruto. Actually, she said, I've been looking for you. Naruto raised eyebrow as he pointed at himself. Me? Yes, you, she said. Why, said Naruto. Because, as she got closer, you're gonna take me to dinner in Metropolis in 3 weeks when our rotation ends. As a date. Naruto was shocked and confused, seeing that this was the first time a girl had asked him out on a date. As Naruto heard laughing in his head, you poor bastard. I told you that it was coming, but did you listen? No. As Naruto tuned Kurama out, but Kara-chan, he said, I've never been on a date. I'll just mess it up, said Naruto. Well, what do you call that lunch after we got back from the ramen factory, followed by that sightseeing, or dinner at the farm, on your first rotation, or a few days ago when we were cuddled together on your couch? I told you, dumbass, Kurama said while laughing at Naruto. However, Naruto had his doubts. Are you sure it's a good idea, he said. I mean, I did just, he said. Also killed a lot of people before that. Bloodstained hands, He cared for her, but he just killed someone that looked like her, without a second thought. And all the lives that he'd taken before coming here. He just didn't want to. However, she looked at him, as she simply gave him a strange, focused gaze. As Naruto was taken aback, Naruto Uzumaki, she said, you will take me on a date on the first night, when our rotation ends. And you will like it, she said, poking him in the chest the entire time. Yes, ma'am, said Naruto. As she smiled before she grabbed the book and left the cafeteria, giggling to herself. As Naruto stood there. Can anyone just tell me what happened? I believe a little lady just demanded that you take her out. As Naruto turned to see Green Lantern and Vixen, both of them holding their trays. Hey there, John, and Naruto did not know her name. Vixen, Naruto. You can call me Vixen. As Naruto thanked her before continuing. So she asked me out then, said Naruto. Sugar, Vixen said. That wasn't a question, that was more like a demand. One you best live up to, she said with a wink, before she went to another table with Lantern. As Naruto wondered what was up with that wink until he saw, sticking out of her bag was a orange color book. Naruto pounded his head on the table. Come damn it, he said. Meanwhile, at a different location, a loud pounding could be heard, like a hammer striking something very powerful. It was that the entire room was vibrating from the force, as an overly large man worked against the metal. He was stout, with dark locks, shirtless and hairy. Fire, hotter than hell itself, burning right next to him. So stuck in his work he failed to hear a man enter his domain. You said, I should be back by Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I want my suit. An even taller blonde said, as he was wearing a full, suit of Greek armor. His tone was filled with aggravation. Patience, brother. The man that struck the metal told him, You know how I care about the details. Giving the working man a look, the blonde-haired man spoke up again. It doesn't have to be pretty, Hephaestus. Words going, it won't be pretty. Hephaestus gave a sly grin. Present company excluded, of course. The blonde man just rolled his eyes, stopping his pounding as he showed that he was pounding on a chest plate. Hephaestus moved towards the burning fires, grabbing a glowing iron rod from the bare fire with his hand. No gloves, nothing at all. Hephaestus leaned back as he placed the plate on the armor, just adding my finishing touch. As he poured the heat down towards the plate, he then grabbed it as the blonde followed behind him, arriving at a mostly complete suit of armor. Hephaestus placed a chest plate in the center. The Annihilator, he said, in an excited tone, heartless, indestructible, and ready to feed off man's rage and darkest desires. He then turned towards the man with the blonde hair. Go ahead, Ares, he said. Give it life. The no-identified Ares turned toward the suit. Drawing his blade, Ares sent his god power into it before he slashed downwards. A streak of red came from the blade as it gave the armor life. Quickly rushing forward, Ares tested the blade against the suit. It quickly overpowered him and his sword with its incredible strength. Enough, he shouted, as the Annihilator onslaught stopped. Wrap it up, I'll take it, he said, with an evil smirk. Time skip. Gunfire could be heard as they tried to stop the behemoth. A grenade was thrown towards the suit. As it detonated, it barely even budged from its path as it kept on moving. Another man grabbed a rocket launcher as he fired toward the suit of armor. The Annihilator reached and grabbed the missile out of the air before he hurled it towards the man behind the car. All of them scattered as it exploded. Impressive, a dark-haired man said with an Eastern European accent as the Annihilator approached him and Ares, who stood there. Isn't it? Ares asked. The suit stopped in front of the both of them. The dark-haired man stepped to get a better look. I heard about advancements in weaponry, he said, as he looked the suit up and down. Where did they come from? Who built it? He said, turning towards Ares. Have you ever heard the expression, do not look a gift horse in the mouth? Ah, classified, his companion said. I have already taken the liberty of imprinting it to your voice command, Ares said. Now the only question, Mr. Nardoc. Are you interested? Ares asked. Of course, but Mr. Strina, you know how little money we have. Ares smiled as he placed a hand on his shoulder. We can worry about that later. Are you joking? Nardoc said. Never had someone offer something so powerful without wanting something in return. No, I trust you. And it's not like you're going anywhere. Nardoc smiled as he turned towards the Annihilator. No, not with this weapon's help. Commanding to follow Nardoc. He walked here from Ares, who smirked. Time skip. 2 robbers just robbed the bank. Come on, hurry! As they finally got to the getaway car, as they started to speed away. Hell yeah! The perfect getaway, the driver shouted out. That was until they saw a woman wearing white shirts, black pants, and a blue jacket standing in front of their car. The driver stepped on the gas. Roadkill bitch coming up, he said. However, the woman raised her arm and brought it down, slamming her fist into the hood, bringing the car to a complete stop. Both men were unprepared for this as they fly through the windshield due to a lack of seatbelt being used. One went crashing into a bush, semi-conscious. The other landed on top of him, completely knocked out. I tried to take a day off, the woman said, as the man that was still conscious realized the woman was Wonder Woman. But no, you just had to rob a bank, she said, in a threatening tone. He pulled his partner gun as he started to fire. The ever-prepared Amazon used her bracelet to block the bullets. By the time the clip was empty, she was right on top of him. He threw the weapon towards her. Really? Like that is gonna work? She grabbed him by the collar. Wait, he said. Please, I've learned my lesson. No, you haven't. As she spun and hurled the man back to the vehicle. He landed on top of it with a crunch. She leaped and landed over him. Your kind never learn, and it's really starting to get on my nerves, she said, as she pulled her fist back. However, before she could launch a finishing blow, Martian Manhunter spoke up in the communicator. Diana! She responded angered by the interruption. Not now, John, she said. But he was not deterred in any way. Diana! What she said, I'm not finished here. I would say that you are. She looked down to see the man drooling, completely passed out. She sighed as she dropped the rubber and flew off. Time skip. Diana was flying in her invisible jets as John made contact. Queen Adrena of Casnia has asked for help from the League. She raised the eyebrow. I thought the League was to stay out of conflict between countries. That is our charter with UN. Why are we getting involved? True, we cannot involve ourselves with wars, John said, knowing the charter. However, the Queen has been given information of a new, powerful weapon that can use to escalate the war further. In the preservation of our people, she has access to intervene. I see. Why is your first answer always violence, John? She was aggravated with the affairs of man's world. All John could do was raise an eyebrow at that statement coming from her. Before reaching Casnia, you must make a stop. She looked as she saw the coordinates. Hawk and Dove. She said surprised that you would choose them for her backup. They are the best choice. Dove might be able to assist in talking down the leaders. However, in the event forces necessary, Hawk can provide the assistance needed on the battlefield with Dove. Finding his logic to be sound, she ended the transmission and made her way. Meanwhile, Naruto was bored out of his mind. Man, I wish there was something to do. Hoping a mission was available, and if not, he could always spend some time with John. While many of the tower's members respected John, only a few had befriended him, as well as the original 7 members. It irked Naruto that so many of them listened to him and respect him, but yet, they barely carry on the information with him outside of mission. As Naruto leaped up towards the railing, attaching his feet with chakra. What's up, Marv, he said, using his nickname. I believe that the agreement was if we brought ramen to the watchtower, you would refrain from calling me that, John said, a hint of amusement in his voice. Oh, come on, said Naruto. It's not that bad of a nickname, is it? All John gave him was a deadpan look. Fine, said Naruto. Normally he would not give up that easy, but John was the one that brought ramen to the watchtower, and he felt indebted to him. As for your question, no current mission. Need your support. Naruto sighed as he jumped down and landed, grabbing one of the chairs as he sat down, as he pulled a notebook and started to write inside. After a moment, John heard him giggling. Might I inquire what you're writing? Oh, you could inquire, said Naruto, but that doesn't mean I'll let you know. True, but, said John, as he pulled a small orange book from seemingly nowhere. If I were you, I would worry about Superman finding out that you let Kara hand these out around the watchtower. As Naruto scratched the back of his head. How do you know about them, he said. As John merely smirked, Stargirl's stepdad found it in her room, read a few pages and brought it to my attention. You're not gonna tell Clark, are you, said Naruto. What you write is none of my business, and what the female members of the League read is up to them, John said. Just in time as Diana made an emergency call. John, we need emergency backup now, she said. However, he needed to know what the hell was going on before sending someone unprepared in Casnia. Diana, what is the situation down there? Has a weapon been found, she asked. We found it, John, she said, breathing heavily. The sound of flesh-eating metal could be heard. Ares had a suit of armor created, indestructible, and powered by human rage. John was shocked for a moment that one of Diana's gods would do something like this until his memory sorted out to find out that Ares was a god of war. However, he realized, if it is powered by rage, why are you fighting it, he asked. Diana yelled a war cry on the other end as he could hear flesh-eating metal. We did that, and he powered down. However, Ares could not leave well enough alone, and he powered the suit back up before disappearing. Naruto jumped down toward the teleporter. I should be able to stop it, John, he said. Send me down. As John pressed the button, however, the teleporter failed. Blue light sparkled over the teleporter before it went down. Diana, the teleporter just went down. We will get them up as fast as possible, but I need you to hold out as long as possible, he told her. We will try. Hurry, she said. Meanwhile, Wintergreen, Slade said. Prep, the Osprey. We're leaving 20 minutes ago. As he ran from the room, the phone still hanging from the cord. A V-22 Osprey, designed for standing taking off. His was modified. It had 2 jet engines, as it could reach Mach 2. Wintergreen was already inside, starting it up, sir. As Slade took over the controls and shot upwards, Katniss Spy reported that Shinobi is being sent down on a mission to Casnia. They tripped the set of breakers on the teleporter to buy us some time. The two of them took off at top speeds to reach the war-torn nation in time. It took John longer than he expected to fix the teleporter. Diana, we have it fixed. However, it still needs 5 minutes to gather necessary energy. I don't think that we have. 5 minutes, she said. She was completely out of breath. You could hear it, exhaustion in her tone. Both John and Naruto stared at the timer, urging to go faster. After what seemed like an eternity, it brightened up, as a hum could be heard. Hitting the button, Naruto was whipped away in blue light. As Naruto arrived a distance away behind the armor, Naruto pressed down, causing the ground underneath him to crack a bit. As he shot off at blinding speeds, bam! Naruto slammed a kick into the machine, blowing it away. As he landed, "Are you guys alright?" he said. "Shinobi," Diana said. "Barely. We are all exhausted." The other two voiced their complaint as well. "So far, we've hit it with everything we got, and we barely made a dent." Originally, the armor was poured by rage. However, when we got the fighting to stop, Ares was not pleased. He powered the suit and commanded to kill all of us. Nothing has been working in our attempts to stop it. Naruto nodded as he watched the armor retake its stance. "Ares, that's the god of war, correct?" said Naruto. "Yes," Diana said. "But what does that have to do with anything?" Naruto did not say anything, instead he rushed forward. Meanwhile, "Just in time, Master Wilson," Wintergreen said. As they flew overhead, their belly camera picking up, Naruto rushing towards the armor. As Slate set the Osprey down over a hill, as he grabbed his long-range spine equipment. Meanwhile, Naruto reached the armor and slammed a double punch into the thing. However, Naruto was shocked to find out that he did not dent the thing. The Annihilator tried to backhand him, however Naruto ducked under the blow. Naruto created a Rasengan and slammed it into his chest, throwing the thing away. The Annihilator blasts right through a building. Naruto raised his eyebrow as he noticed the metal was not even dent. "Well, I guess when a god makes something, they go all out," said Naruto. "Any ideas?" Wonder Woman said that the suit was poured by rage. "I would highly recommend not use any of my chakra." Naruto nodded as he sidestepped a spear before he threw his leg out, tripping the suit. Grabbing a handful of shurikens, Naruto covered them with wind chakra as he hurled them towards the behemoth, but they simply bounced off. "Ares is the god of war," said Kurama. "He is the god of war powering this suit with rage to fight. It makes it stronger, however not fighting it now would be pointless," as Wonder Woman said. "You're gonna have to grab onto it and pull the rage out of it, using your natural chakra to purify it before releasing it harmlessly." "That could work. Any ideas on what the seal I should use to funnel it?" said Naruto. "No, but I don't think a seal would work. Whatever is powering it is not chakra." As Naruto released a gigantic wind spear, blowing the armor back. "Great, that means meditation and physical contact." Bringing his hand up, 6 Narutos appeared. "You all know what to do," said Naruto as they all sit down. As Naruto rushed forward as they started to gather natural energy. "Holy cow," Hawk said. "This guy is keeping up and holding his own, while we all got trampled." Diana nodded. "Shinobi has been through a lot, but I hope it is enough to battle Ares." Vision of war. Dove, however, was hoping that it would end. Sure, he was a hero, and he fought when needed to. But he hated violence. He preferred to talk rather than problems. As he then noticed, what are those 6 copies just doing sitting there? As for Naruto, the first clone poof, as a flood of natural energy slammed into him. Naruto jumped over the armor, trying to punch him as he landed on his hand. He then grabbed the helmet before, with his bare hand, Naruto ripped it off. Pushing his hand down in, Naruto started to grab onto the energy that was inside the suit as he felt around. He then felt it, the rage, the pain, the passion for bloodshed. Naruto's whisker mark starts to get darker. However, he calmed himself down, pushing back that as he grabbed onto the rage. However, rage led to pain as Naruto felt pain course through him as he gripped onto the rage. "What's going on? Why does it feel like this?" said Naruto. He did not scream, as he kept his pain inside. "Whatever this power is, it is far more potent than I expected. It is wreaking havoc in your pathways. Quickly, dispel another clone, it should help." Clone 2 dispel as Naruto felt more natural energy flood through him as the pain lessened. However, it gave the Annihilator enough time to grab Naruto and threw him off as it closed the helmet on his head once more. It rushed forward and slammed a fist into Naruto's gut. However, Naruto did not budge. Instead, he gripped the arm as he started to tug on the rage. The thing brought its arm down as Naruto flipped over it and kicked off its head. As he grabbed ninja wire from his pouch, he wrapped the thing's leg and yanked it as it collapsed over. Slamming his knee into the thing, Naruto started to draw as he had to dispel 2 clones to cancel out the rush of energy. However, the armor was able to twist and bend in ways due to no human operating it, slamming a devastating right hook in Naruto's face. The thing was able to rip the wire off. As Naruto got up instantly, he did not feel the blow. However, he lost concentration. While Naruto was being hit and knocked, he was drawing out all the energy out of it, dispelling it into the air. The Annihilator became slower and slower as Naruto started to move around it, and yanking out all the energy. With one final slam to the chest, Naruto grabbed the energy and yanked it out. The suit then proceeded to collapse. "Alright, he did it," Hawk said, running over to the blonde. "Stay back," said Naruto, holding out his hand as the three of them stopped. Reddish, orange energy then shot out of Naruto, destroying and ripping apart the ground. Diana rushed forward as a gigantic crater was formed. As she rushed down there, "Shinobi, are you okay?" she asked. "Yeah, just a little sore," said Naruto, as his chakra pathways felt like they were on fire. "Give me a minute," said Kurama. "I'll heal the damage up in no time." "Remind me never to do that again," said Naruto, as Diana helped him up. "Thanks for that, Wonder Woman." "Man, what caused that backlash there at the end?" Dove asked Naruto. "The energy I took out of it was different than my own. I had to purge it before it did any more damage." All three of them were shocked by his bold move. Had it failed, they figured that it would not end properly for him. "Well, I don't know about you three, but I'm ready to get some rest," said Naruto. All three of them agreed as they grabbed the Annihilator, Paige and John, as they were gone. "Impressive," said Slade. He had watched the entire fight. "Most impressive indeed, sir. But will he do what you want?" "I doubt he will be a good candidate for apprenticeship since he's already well trained. Unlike Nightwing or Terra. True, I wanted the apprentice Wintergreen. However, this man can do what I want without becoming one." "And what is that, sir? You never fill me in on what you need an apprentice for." "You shall find out," Slade said, not explaining further. "For now, we shall maintain surveillance on the target. Under Cadmus, Dime of course," as they took off and head back towards the Wilson mansion. Meanwhile, "Talk about a crazy day," said Naruto. "Yes, but at least we prevent that civil war from escalating," Diana said, agreeing with Naruto. "I wish they would just stop fighting altogether," Dove said. Leaving Hawk and Dove, Naruto and Diana started to move the armor to the vault. "That was impressive work there, Shinobi," she said, thanking him for his help. "Anytime. Well, this is where I have to leave you," said Naruto, as Diana wished that Clark had made some of those ridiculous rules. But she understood why. "If it is any consolation, I voted for you, without no qualms. You are a brave and strong warrior, worthy of the title of hero, by the gods." As Naruto smiled at the Amazon before he left the vault. "I wonder where that came from," said Naruto. "She might be physically from this world, but mentally she's apart from it," Kurama said. "How so?" said Naruto. "From what we have learned, she's from an isolated, warrior island of women. So unlike the other heroes here, she has no qualms about killing. Probably taught to kill instead of incapacitate. She respects you more than the others. Far more." "Makes sense," said Naruto. "Most of the heroes gave him a wide berth. He was too new, and too much of a mystery to them." Naruto was fine with that. He was making friends. Although it was slow, he was still making friends. Naruto turned where his room was as he paused. Can I help you?" said Naruto. All of them turned towards him as Naruto realized who was standing in front of his door. Kara, Vixen, Black Canary, Stargirl, Huntress, and Zatanna. "Either you're about to get luckier than the sin of lust itself, or you're about to die a violent death." "Naruto," Kara said, "these are the ladies that found your book quite interesting. Plus there is Barb down in Gotham, as well as a few who hasn't joined the league, who's gotten a copy of it." "Okay," and said Naruto, confused while they were all standing in front of his door. "Sugar," Vixen said with a smile. "We want you to put that book series in production. It's amazing," she said. The others agreed along. "For the love of Kami and self-preservation, do not, under any circumstances, explain to them how you or your godfather gained the material to write those books of yours," Kurama warned him. "Yeah, sure," said Naruto. "I will. I'll get right on that," said Naruto. "No need to," Huntress said, walking forward with a piece of paper. "I saved the publisher some time back. He owes me a favor. Sign this and the first copy will be in production tomorrow. The rest, just send him whenever you can." As Naruto looked towards the paper and the gathered women. "Alright," he said, signing the paper as he handed it back to her. They all smiled and departed except for Kara, as she started to walk towards him closer and closer, whispering in his ear, And you were worried about me being seen with that book. Plus, I believe that you'll do just fine on our date. Kissing him just below the ear, she walked, with a sway in her step. Is it just me or other women here more perverted than in our world, said Naruto. No, it's not just you, said Grandma. Meanwhile, as Slade was once again in front of Waller and the others. What have you found, Deathstroke, she asked. Not much, he said as he uploaded a few more basic things to their dossier. I was able to find out about all of his mission that he went on for the League. And his recent. He's quite a troubling puzzle. I will need more time. The department heads in the background were whispering something, as Waller raised an eyebrow. I'm surprised you need more time, she said. I thought you were the best, aren't you? He narrowed his eye behind his mask. Do not insult me otherwise. You will find yourself on the other side of my rage. This man is more than he seems. 100,000 a month for surveillance. If you don't pay, the dossier stops. Being updated, I wait for your first transfer. With that, he cut the link. You will be the force I will use. But before, I need an edge. Something that will cut the curtain. Then you shall have it. Slade drew his gun and turned towards the person. Do you think that mortal weapon will harm me? Forgive me if I find myself trying in a way, Slade said, the gun still pointed at Eri's head. I would expect nothing less from a Terminator, Eri said, as an amused chuckle came from his mouth. What is it that you want, God of War? Slade asked. What any bloodthirsty god wants. A war, he said. He walked until a gun was pressed against his forehead. But what I want is easily accomplished by giving you what you want. Slade lowered his gun as he raised the eyebrow. I'm listening, he said. But guys, be ends up right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all their friends in your social media platform. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. If you're new, yes guys, I indeed have 4 of them guys, which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all for your help and support, and yeah, without further ado, I'm over now. See you guys soon. Peace.